So thank you so much for joining me, Marie. Very excited to talk about your photography. You have some of the most beautiful photographs I have ever seen. You've taken a lot of photographs that have been used in the town of Barnstable. You did a 7 Villages series.
Yeah.
Talk to me about some of that work.
Well, Melissa from Arts Barnstable had contacted me and asked me to photograph the town. And so I went, there were 7 villages, and I didn't realize that. And when I went exploring to find different places to photograph that were pretty, what have you, that would make a good photograph, I realized there were similarities from each of the villages, but a lot of differences. And in an effort to come up with a way to pull it all together that would represent the town of Barnstable, but also represent each village individually, I had picked a word each day, each week actually. I would pick a word. I think the first week was like church. So I would go to each village, find a church that was photogenic or attractive in a picture, photograph that, and then bring them all together onto one image. And it represented the town of Barnstable's churches. I did it with bikes or umbrellas or, from a variety of different small, little consequential things to larger things such as the church or the main street or whatever. And it turned out to not only be pretty and interesting, but absolutely informative on the differences from one village to another. Never realized how many villages there were in the town.
And how unique. They each have their own spirit and their own vibe. So
exactly
they are
right.
unique. Yeah.
And yet connected.
Yes, that's true.
Amazing how much I could bring them together and yet see the differences.
Yeah, you can really spend a lot of time in Barnstable and not really get to every place and see everything you want to see. I want to talk to you too. Your artwork is featured on the art shanties at Bismore Park. So if you're walking around and you're looking at the artist shanties, on the artist shanties there are actually some photographs that you've taken. That must be pretty cool to have your artwork featured on the art shanties.
It's amazing. It's the 7s are on there, the 7 series, and each village is on each of the shanties represents a village. So there's Cotuit, there's Centerville, etc. So each of those have all 7 come together in one image on their shanty. That didn't come out right, but I'm hoping it made sense.
Yes.
And then there's also, each village also has a lot of history. So what I had worked on was a then and now series, which is I had done a lot of research, found a lot of history on each of the villages individually, found old pictures, and then went and photographed the same place again with a new eye on it, and so you could compare. And those are on the outside of the shanties.
That is so neat. So you can really get a little bit of history when you're looking at when you're visiting the artist shanties, just by visiting the shanties themselves.
Correct.
Not just checking out the artwork inside the shanty, but also on the outside of the shanty.
It really does have the culture of each of the villages on the outside, which just communicates more about the town than I ever realized. I've been coming to the Cape for 50 or 60 years and never realized how much was there until I started looking at each of the villages individually. I think a lot of us miss that.
It's true. It's true. Even some of us who have been here a long time may not know all there is to offer. So really neat to check that out. You're also participating in the shanties. Right. You were in the shanties before, I believe, but you're coming back this summer.
Correct.
Tell us what dates you'll be in the shanties.
I do a June weekend, so I'm there the first weekend of June, and then I'm there for the first time this year. I'm doing a summer week, which is July 10th to the 17th. And then again in the fall, another week, which is September 11th to the 18th. And I always do the shoulder seasons, the June and the September, which I absolutely love. I've never done a summer week, but I've heard great things about them, so I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah, very exciting.
Yeah.
What do you like about being in a shanty and showing your artwork? I know you have not just photographs, but you actually do some really unique and individual things with your photographs. So you put them on, you make scarves with your photographs.
Yeah, I do.
And bags or different things.
Pillows.
So you won't just have framed artwork, which you will have some framed photos available, but also some different things that people could take home with them.
Yeah, I have some manufacturers that I found that actually I upload my pictures to them and then they print it for me and then I offer it at the shanty. It's really cool. It's changed how I it's changed how I shoot. I photograph different. I actually shoot for a scarf or shoot for a throw pillow, and absolutely love it. It makes me see Cape Cod differently again. I mean, each time as you go through an evolution, it seems, as a photographer, you find more ways to grow.
Have you ever considered making a coffee table book? Because looking at some of your images, they are absolutely stunning. The colors you have are amazing. Maybe that might be another venue for you.
I actually have looked at it. I've started it, and I was going to do a 7-series book because I thought that was just so interesting. But I haven't finished it. I got sidetracked with my manufacturers
next summer.
You will.
Yeah, maybe we'll see it coming next summer.
Yeah, you will.
I want to talk to you too because you really loved the Artist Shanty program, and you're actually working with Melissa on a new project that she started last summer. I think was the first summer for the Artist Market. That's being held at Sturgis High School right here on Main Street.
Right.
So that was actually very successful as well.
It was. Oh, it was fantastic. The artists that are in the Shanty they're their own community, and they really work really well together. They share opportunities, and when this opportunity became available and I heard about it, I knew I was going to be with good people. It was going to be run by good people. It was a fantastic opportunity to be right on Main Street. And I did it last year for 3 weeks in the summer and absolutely loved every minute of it. It was fantastic, and I'm so excited to be there again this summer. The end of June is when they open. It's a really good marriage with the school because it gives them an opportunity to use their building at a time when they're not being used, and it gives us an opportunity to benefit from the traffic on Main Street.
Yeah, that local traffic right there on Main Street.
Fantastic, and we get to talk to people that don't always get down to the harbor. So the amount of people that are seeing that there's local artists at the Cape, and the artists are getting to talk and get their word out. It's just like a perfect marriage of a lot of different things. A lot of effort went behind it. Couldn't appreciate it more because it really does make a difference to the artists and to the town.
And exactly, I was just going to say, you know, the town benefits as well from that arts and culture community. So it's a win-win situation for everyone. Well, we look forward to seeing you this summer, whether it be at Sturgis or whether it be at the Artist Shanty. We really appreciate you dropping by and can't wait to see you there.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thanks so much. Thanks. My guest today, Marie Grady Palcic, a photographer. She's going to be featured at the Artist Shanties this year as well as the Main Street Artist Market.